final two characteristics of tone we will talk about are dynamics, or the loudness or softness of a tone, and timbre, which is the quality of a tone that makes an instrument or voice unique. For example, the quality of a tone that makes a violin sound like a violin is its timbre. Thus, the timbre of a violin is different from the timbre of a trumpet or the timbre of a clarinet, even though all are playing the same specific pitch. In music, the symbol F stands for forte and means loud. The symbol P stands for piano and means soft. When we want to tell an instrument to play more loudly or softly, we simply add more Fs or Ps respectively. For example, the symbols MF and MP stand for mezzo forte and mezzo piano, which means moderately loud and moderately soft, respectively. The symbol FP stands for forte piano. The FP is usually placed under the starting note of a musical phrase and tells the performer to play the first note loudly or in a more accented way and follow with the rest of the phrase being played softly. Another symbol that is much like the FP is the symbol SFZP, which stands for sforzano piano. Sforzano means sudden forceful accent, while the piano tells us to follow the sudden accent by playing the remainder of the phrase softly. Note that the SFZP marking gives us a somewhat different effect than the FP marking. Other dynamic symbols include RF and RFZ, both of which stand for rinforzando. Rinforzando means to increase the strength of accents over a short distance until reaching a new dynamic marking. An example of rinforzando might sound like Notice that rinforzando is a little more subtle than a short crescendo or gradual increase in volume, which is shown by a hairpin symbol. Another symbol for a crescendo is the written word crescendo, or the abbreviation CRESC. The best method for learning about dynamics is to simply read a great deal of sheet music. When you come across terms that you don't understand, look them up, online or in a book like the Oxford Dictionary of Music. In addition, if you happen to use a music notation program like Sibelius or Finale, the programs will usually have an extensive listing or chart of dynamic markings. Let's move on to the topic of timbre. Timbre, our final characteristic of tone, is that quality of sound which makes any particular instrument sound like that particular instrument. In other words, timbre is the quality that makes a piano sound like a piano, a guitar sound like a guitar, a voice sound like a voice, or a trumpet sound like a trumpet. The way in which we use timbre is a very subjective thing. Composers use timbre in their selection of that sound or group of sounds which is the most expressive of the emotion that they are trying to convey. Whether it is the plaintive cry of the oboe supported by the rather magical vibrato of the strings, as presented in the theme to Tchaikovsky's Swan Lake, or the bold, exciting, and brave mixture of the strings and brass in Elmer Bernstein's theme to the Magnificent Seven, The way in which you will use timbre will be influenced by the variety of music you listen to, your attention to how the mixtures of timbres make you feel, and your experimentation with mixing timbres in order to express your feelings to others. One good exercise for working with timbres is to rearrange songs having one kind of timbre into the same song using a completely different timbre. For example, one of my exercises was to take the piano piece The Girl with the Flaxen Hair by Claude Debussy and rearrange it using the various timbres of the orchestra. This concludes our studies of the 4 characteristics of tone. Everything that you will learn about music in the future will be based upon your knowledge of these 4 characteristics. I hope that these videos have helped to give you a solid foundation from which to continue. I wish you great success in your musical career.